Then on Sports Central, I'll be giving you guys my updated NFL playoff predictions for Week 13 of this 2021 NFL season. And as we head into the month of December, a lot of things are still uncertain and very unpredictable in this 2021 NFL season. But today, I'll be giving you guys my thoughts as to where I think things stand as we head into Week 13. So let's go ahead and get into it. Here's our bracket for Week 13. Kansas City, the Chiefs are still my number one. I moved them up to number one last week, and they're going to remain at number one. The Chiefs are, that's a football team that had a bye week, obviously, this past weekend. But Kansas City, they're starting to come on, and you can see Pat Mahomes and that offense is finally starting to click. And we didn't really know what was going on in that first half of the season, but I think the Chiefs are going to go on a run here over the next few weeks, and we'll see the Chiefs end up climbing up to that number one seed. Can't go against them and Pat Mahomes. They're outstanding. They've got plenty of talent to definitely make another Super Bowl run, and I think that they definitely do so and get up to number one. Number two, New England Patriots. Watch out for that football team as well. Your hottest football teams are usually at the top of my brackets, and the Patriots are certainly one of them. Mac Jones is playing excellent, and last season everyone was concerned that the Patriots were potentially one of the new dead teams in the AFC because Tom Brady left and no one really knew what was going on. But Mac Jones, he's brought life back to this team. He continues to only get better, and the Patriots, I really like where they're going as we head into December. Definitely watch out for them. And so, yeah, Chiefs and Patriots, it's kind of similar, seeing them at the top of the AFC, but I think that's what happens. And obviously in the AFC for the first half of the season, no one knew who was good in the AFC, but I think we're starting to get an idea of who are your main contenders. And I think Chiefs, Patriots, and Ravens especially, Baltimore, yeah, all three of those teams are very much big contenders. Tennessee Titans are my number four. Kind of uncertain about them. I like Tennessee, but they've got a couple of bad injuries right now, and for Tennessee, I don't like where that team is going heading into December because of the injuries, and plus they've taken a couple of bad losses. Number five is Buffalo. I consider putting Cincinnati at number five. Bengals have been playing excellent recently, and they're only getting better. But the Bills, I do believe in them. I think they're a very strong team and a team that you do not want to play once again to the playoffs. They made it to the AFC title game last year, so they are a dangerous football team. They've got some playoff experience, and Josh Allen is an excellent football player. So Bills, watch out for them. If they can get into the playoffs, that is going to be a tough team to beat. Bengals, number six. Cincinnati, really like where they're going as well with Joe Burrow. I do think Bengals get into the playoffs somewhere in the wild card, potentially. Jumping Baltimore would be a tough task, but I do expect them to definitely get in the playoffs right now. I like where they're going. And Indianapolis, one of the hottest teams in the league right now. So I've got the Colts at number seven. Obviously, with the AFC, you got several other teams. Las Vegas just beat the crap out of Dallas. So, it was a closer game, but that was still a huge win for the Raiders. So, potentially they're a team to watch out for. But I just think it's about Las Vegas is they're so inconsistent. And you got some other teams in there as well. So, but yeah, AFC, that's how I think it looks right now. As for the NFC, number one seed is kind of complicated here. I'm going with Green Bay here, and main reason for that is because the way that they've been playing at home has been outstanding all season long. On the road, they have taken a couple losses, and they lost to Minnesota a couple of weeks ago. But I think, and also you got Aaron Rodgers with his injury, potentially with his foot. So that does kind of concern me. But Packers overall, a huge win this past weekend over the Rams. Wasn't sure if they'd win that game, and they did, and they played very well, dominated that game. So Packers, I like where they're going. Number one, Aaron Rodgers, can't go against him, and they've got plenty of playoff experience. So I'm going to go with Packers at number one for this week. Arizona just behind them. Green Bay also has the tiebreaker over Arizona if we do see a tie in the records between both those teams. Arizona's my number two. Cardinals are looking good as well. Potentially the Bucs could jump them. Buccaneers have been a bit inconsistent recently, but Arizona is also a football team to really watch out for, and it's kind of between Arizona and Green Bay for that number one seed, and potentially Buccaneers make a run. They can still get it as well. But yeah, those top three in the NFC are your big contenders. Dallas, of course, is my number four. I'm pretty confident that they win the East Division. Philadelphia looked like they were starting to go on a run there, but I don't know about Philly. They're kind of inconsistent as well. But Dallas, Cowboys are a good football team. They definitely are built for a deep playoff run. It's just a matter of if they can. So we'll see what happens with Dallas. I'm going to keep them at number four. They've been the one solid team at that number four position all for every one of my predictions so far. Los Angeles Rams are my number five. I am a bit concerned about the Rams. Of course, Matthew Stafford has just not played very well the past few games. On the road, he hasn't played as well. That football team, Rams, they were playing excellent for the entire October month of the season, and I mean they had a pretty good winning streak there for a little while, but I mean I think they started 7-1. They've lost 2 or 3 in a row. So yeah, Rams, they do kind of concern me a bit because I mean you got a football team that played all the weak teams in the NFL, and they played excellent against those teams. When they're going up against the top tier opponents in the NFL, they just have not been playing well. So Rams do concern me. I'm keeping them at number 5 for now. 49ers are my number 6. They're one of the hotter teams in the NFL as well right now. Watch out for San Francisco. They're starting to come on, and I do think they climb up to number 6, and potentially they could get that number 5. I mean, we did just see San Fran beat up the Rams a couple weeks ago, so that is something to watch out for. But 49ers are a very dangerous team if they can get into the playoffs. Cardinals, once again, my number 2, and I've got Minnesota at number 7. That number 7 seed is up for grabs. It could be anyone getting that number 7 seed except for Detroit. I think there's like a stat or the records. It's like there are so many teams that are in line for that number 7 position, and I think it's Washington right now, but it could be anybody except for Detroit. So Minnesota, I do have them getting number 7. I'm most confident in that football team right now. We saw how they can play against Green Bay, so we'll see. But Minnesota, I do think they get up to number 7. That said, let's look at some predictions here for what you could see in potential deep playoff teams, teams that could go on big runs. For the AFC, I think the Chiefs and Baltimore especially are definitely built for long runs in the playoffs, and I think Buffalo is also a team to watch out for. Patriots, obviously with Mac Jones, but I do think Baltimore would beat New England if they did play in the playoffs. So yeah, I like Baltimore. Obviously, got to love the Chiefs, Pat Mahomes and all. As for the NFC, here's what we got. Rams, I do have them beating Dallas, but that would be basically a coin toss as of right now. Bucks over 49ers, but once again, main reason for that is because I think Bucks, if they can get into playoffs, I mean, Tom Brady, I mean, you can never go against the guy. I mean, he finds a way every single time. Once he gets into the playoffs, he just plays lights out, and I think that that won't be any different this time around. So I do think they beat San Francisco, but say if 49ers were the 5 seed playing in Dallas, I would pick the 49ers over the Cowboys, and I'd probably also pick San Fran over Arizona, or maybe even Green Bay if they were to play. But going up against the Buccaneers and Tom Brady, not sure if I can go against Tom Brady right now. I also have Arizona over Minnesota. That's a tough one. I do have Rams once again over Cowboys as well. I would have a rematch of Packers-Rams in Lambeau. I would have to go Green Bay there the way they played last week. And then Buccaneers in Arizona. I would also go Tampa. And just for the heck of it, I've got Chiefs and Packers in the Super Bowl as of right now. But that said, they're upset up for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this bracket. And I appreciate you guys all watching as always. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. I'll see you guys later.